Papa Marty!
Go, Max. Go. Go, Max. Go. 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 Give him to him. Go give him to him. Go give him to him.
So Michael Keel, W. Michael Keel. Even the name fairly shouts, I'm viral. A name that makes opponents quiver and turns fair maidens' hearts from thoughts to purity to unmitigated lust. But that's enough ancient history for tonight. This gathering is to bestow honor upon somebody we all hold very dear. Why that is, I'm not sure, but we do. Mike and John met through a friend of a friend. And through the years, they've been privileged to learn so much. He's been privileged to learn so much from him and about him. From Mike, John learned that if you intend to drink, be sure you're with a good friend, particularly somebody who has a lot of money, enough money for bail. I also learned that an erection is when Japanese people go to vote. Finally, John observed that far more kisses begin with his vodka gimlets than from anything that K Jewelers has to offer. And about him, John learned that Mike, when he was at De La Salle, he was encouraged to drink heartily from the fountain of knowledge. Unfortunately, he only gargled. When you see two people talking and one looks really bored, Mike is that other one. Mike had been hitting on this chick with a family who lived on the street. He called her cell phone and she said, come on over, there's nobody home. So in a state of high anticipation, he scooted down the street and sure enough, nobody was home. Sexually frustrated with one really hot lady, he brought her a mood ring so he could tell when she might be in the mood. I'm not sure how well that worked out. But John clearly saw when she was not in a good mood that the ring did leave a big black and blue spot right in the middle of Mike's forehead. Sherry and John would love to be here, but they're in South Florida. They're on the way down, they encountered, you guessed it, Hurricane Michael. Very locally named, as it also has left a path of mayhem and confusion in its way, just like Mike. In closing, Michael, we love you, as does every person with you tonight, and we wish you the best. You're the greatest friend anyone could have. Since opposites attract, I'm sure that tonight you are with somebody who is attractive, intelligent, and cultured. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Michael. Now, Michael, I mean, that was really heartfelt, and God damn it, I was really impressed by all that good shit that just came down the pipeline. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay attention. Take a good look at Michael. I know, Michael, I've done a lot of these for a lot of the different family members, but I gotta tell you, most of them were pretty good people. Most of them, it was hard to come up with trash on them, but with you, Michael, it was easy. I mean, I didn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah.
And I would have you gaze upon this continent, because this plaque has to do with Plastic Surgery Watchdog magazine. And here we have Michael in his glory, and his glory, of course, is St. Patrick's. Now, there is not a day that Michael celebrates more and with more gusto and enthusiasm than St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
You know, it is his day. And so, in this issue, this magazine, in this issue, Mike staggers to 70, December 31st. Now, interestingly, because we waited so goddamn long to do this thing, I forgot to change that to 17. I put 18. But I can fix that for you.
Okay.
And in this magazine, read about his travels throughout the world for multiple miracle surgeries. Look at him today as he tells his story of heartbreak and dreadful results.
Yeah, you get that right.
I mean, the surgeries have not gone well.
You got that right.
I mean, and we have this whole thing, we have little different things here pointing to all the work areas that have not gone well. And then we have other areas of the magazine. For instance, driving with Michael on St. Patrick's Day. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should drive with Michael on St. Patrick's Day. And how he has escaped going to jail is beyond me. I have no idea. It doesn't work. We also have Google Mike Keogh, abandoned plus abandoned women. I mean, there's so much, it's more fun than porn. I mean, you can't believe it. You cannot believe it. Or pennant hitting home run plus no-show family equals the beginning of a long slide in Michael's life. His family hated him. They wouldn't even go watch him hit a home run.
No.
And he's been going in the crapper ever since.
They were nobody.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. Or, Michael, how about deep sea diving with your brother Pat, 65 Olds 442?
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
I just told him that story about 3 years ago.
Margaret, and who could say no to Margaret? Margaret comes to Pat, that poor bastard, and she says, Pat, couldn't you let your beautiful car go with Michael and Patty and her friends to the prom? And, you know, it would be so nice if you did it. Pat said, fuck. But, you know, Margaret got her way, and they took her, and I think Pat said something like, well, be home at 11:30 and don't be late. Well, he doesn't show up for like 2 days. And when he shows up, he said, well, we really appreciate how well you did, you know, letting us have the car. So we thought we would detail it before we brought it home.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Well, as it turns out, when they were driving home, they went through like a flood. And the car was completely trashed. So they spent all day fixing the car.
Water's coming up through the gearbox.
Yeah. Now, this in and of itself wouldn't be so bad. But the truth is, Michael didn't tell Pat for 40 years.
That's true. That is true.
Michael, only the good die young, and well, Michael doesn't qualify. He doesn't even belong in the conversation.
Perfect.
And then we have the new Keogh Senior Citizen Handbook.
Oh, goody. This ought to be good.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Viagra, suppositories, dementia, vertigo, varicose veins, aches and pains,
Yeah.
loss of hearing,
Yeah.
loss
What?
of Alzheimer's,
Wow, that's, yeah.
and a melody of melodies.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, you're going to hell in a handbasket, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, that'll happen.
Thanks.
Oh my God, here we go, Michael, you're gonna like this. shocking information from abandoned girlfriends about Mike's battle with the spin cycle on the pump.
What is that?
You know, the pump, Mike. The pump you got, the pump. You shouldn't hit the spin cycle, Mike. Just go for fast.
Oh, you mean that kind of? I don't need that.
Well, that's what the girls say.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. Read about Mike's lifelong battle with amnesia. Mike.
Oh, here we go with this story again.
Mike.
If this is true, I want to hear how this gets spun out here.
Well, I only know from my sources.
Yeah.
But my sources tell me that you would have a tendency to just forget to do what you were told to do.
Yeah. Well, that's.
And when you would show up, you would kind of say things like, oh my God, I hit a tree and I had amnesia and I didn't realize that I was supposed to be home at 6 for dinner and here I am and thank God I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah. So it has to, you know. Right. Now, at the very bottom, there's this little, the real trash.
Yeah.
At the very bottom it says, the women Mike has abandoned are looking for him with guns.
How big is this? Good.
Michael, we think that you should hang this in a place of honor. And even though it doesn't seem like it,
Yeah.
we love the hell out of you.
Here, look at that.
I don't know. You just don't know what to say, I guess, when you're so surprised. But one thing that's really important is that I always say, next to my family, my friends are the most important thing in my life. And that's true. Everybody, I think, here knows that. I appreciate you being here. Marty, Pat, helping Drew, everybody that did, Eileen, Michelle, Mary Beth, everybody. Why don't you do the list, Moby? Yeah. By the way, I just heard Jim Benson back here. I got some Honeywell guys here, which I really appreciate them being here. And one of them, Jim, mentioned that the way they connected was Marty didn't really know, and Pat too, the contact information to do this. So it's really hard to do. But just by word of mouth and contacting one another, you did a great job. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
We emailed you Super Bowl list too.
That's what I heard. So one of the instances of that was Jim Benson is out in Long Lake, and so are Al and Chris lighting. And somehow Al and Chris found out, well, they knew that Jim was working out in Long Lake. So they went in, and Jim and Chris and Al never met one another. So they knew through those connections what was going to be happening, and we were supposed to get together the Honeywell guys, which we call the MALT group. It's an acronym for, I think I'm going to get this right, Jim. Multi-Attitudinal Leadership Team. Is that right? Sure. Anyway, Al and Chris went into the hardware store where Jim was working for fun, and told him about this. And so Jim then contacted Jim Current, Don Franzen, Lynn Fligger, and Joe O'Brien, who's not here tonight. But I would like to really, if we had the time, to go through, and it's wonderful to be at this age.
Yeah.
To have your family and your friends and your help, basically. I don't need the pump. I'm again on the market again, which is a whole other story. And we won't go into that here. This is just do want to mention my brother and my sister, if you haven't met them, my sister's right there, Margaret, Marnie.
Nice talking to you.
My brother's right here, Pat, and Jill, and John. Marnie's husband is right around the corner. And you've all, I think, met Drew. And this, obviously, is a grandson. This is Maxwell, and this is my daughter-in-law,
Oh.
Erin. She just came. Thank you for coming, Erin. But, you know, there's, you know, I like to talk, but there's a lot of stuff that I can say. But everybody in this room, thank you, because I love every one of you. And it's a real blessing. So, thank you for the party.
Look at there. Is that awesome or what?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to do this side too? Yeah. Okay, give me your hand.